invite Rev Teresa Phillips to come up and speak to us about embracing the journey. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Okay, can you hear better? Okay, I think I'll take one of these home so I can make sure the other person in my home will hear me better. I think most women know it. Or the other way around, I suppose. Well, welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. It's a delight to be here. And I want to talk about a gazillion things, but I think I'll try and keep it short. Because June, we're in the month of June, and there's all kinds of things going on. But one of the main themes, if you really look across what's being discussed pretty well everywhere in the world, is the word freedom. And June seems to be a month when we talk about freedom. You notice the color of the magazine that we had. It was colored for a reason. It was to celebrate that freedom is also Pride Month. So that is part of the freedom that you'll hear many people talk about or read about. Also, you may have seen about Juneteenth, the freedom of the slaves in the U.S. on a certain date. It's June 19th. It is National Indigenous Month, and I'm going to be talking about that because that is a very important thing as well. But freedom is not just a destination. Freedom is a daily journey of self-discovery and self-expression, because one of the biggest keys we hold and one of the biggest locks we have is right here, right here, right here. I better not do this because you can fill in the blanks. This is going to happen to me because they told me and I'm too scared. I would like to meet the who told me people to see what's so darned important about them, because they ruled my life a lot of the time. And I mean, so many of them have made their transition, but they're still ringing that bell inside. I told you, I told you. See, now look what happened to you. Well, now's the time to claim your freedom. Stand up. Well, don't stand up, scream, yell, but not right here. But be you. Be you. Now, it is also the time, like we said, it is the Indigenous. And I want to talk about a Canadian. His name is Robbie Robertson. Some of you, yeah. So those of you who don't know who he is one of the members of the band. And the band, he is Canadian. He's Mohawk from the Six Nations. He's from Ontario. And when he did the "don't you do this, it's bad for you" 15 years old. He played the guitar like no one ever could. When he was 15 years old, he was invited to join Ronnie Hawkins and play with his band. So he joined it. He was so good, he quit and he traveled around with them. He followed his dream. So I want to talk about him more, but he had an experience. When we say take time to slow down, to breathe, to just be, just to feel what's going on within you, and be here for the incredible journey called life. He needed to write a song. He needed to write a song. And when, a lot of times, I don't know if you're like me, and I've got to get this done, and you know it, and you can do it, and all of a sudden your brain goes on vacation somewhere. You have no idea where it went, and you think, I know this, but where is it? I know I can do this, but there's just something. Well, he claimed his birthright. He thought, okay, now breathe, relax, it's going to come. And he has this old guitar that he's always composing, got the guitar, and he's kind of got it turned over and the light shining. And he sees right inside that guitar was made in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And he saw Nazareth. He thought, Mary and Joseph went to Nazareth. And what came to him, wrote it down. I pulled into Nazareth. I was feeling about half past dead. And it's called The Wait. And it's been in movies, it's been all over. And there's people who I've read that it's one of the biker songs they like to sing because they pull in half past dead. Where did that idea come from? He thought it, he was asking for it, and it came. So if we ever feel that there's no answers, this is a guy who quit school at 15 to follow his dream of playing a guitar. So if you want to know just a few of the other songs that he sang, there's one called There's the Last Waltz. There's the one, Upon Cripple Creek. That's the man. He's Canadian, so elbows up, elbows up. But he was just one person. And then he joined other people, and they became a band. They had all kinds of things. But anyway, so freedom. Freedom comes all over the place. Allow yourself to think, feel, and be, and allow yourself to learn. And let go of all you no longer need. So what I just described, Dr. Holmes talks about, and that's who we study. And there's no place where your mind leaves off and the mind of God begins. There is no place where the nature of humanity leaves off and the nature of God begins. The power is one invisible spirit, and you are part of it, and not a fragment separate from it, but as an essence merged with it. He had the divine knowledge, the divine guidance of the creativity. Sort of, you build it, they'll come. He thought it, and it came. So this is what we're talking about, the creative divine energy in each of us, unless we're locked up like a cabinet or a safe, and we won't allow ourselves to take that little baby step to move forward, to be and live our life. And it's not my life. If I walk out there, I could walk over and fall right into Reverend Vera right over there by accident. Or on purpose, depends how I'm feeling, if I'm in a goofy mood, but my steps, my imprint on life affects everyone. See, there's the divine mind, universal mind, God, whatever you want to call. That energy in you, that force in you that comes from the universal mind. So live by the power of I am, to feel the freedom. I read an article, I read it this morning, and I was showing it to my husband. It's a bear. I don't know if anyone has heard about, but I love the animals. And I like food, so I mean, here we go. Here is this black bear. They caught him on a trail cam, and he was hungry, and he had stuck his head into a big plastic bucket that it must have been that big, the lid of it, with 2 holes in it. And that bear had stuck his head in there and could not get it out. He managed to get the lid off the bucket, but for 2 years they tracked this bear with this big thing, and they finally caught him, they anesthetized him, cut it off, and it's like those big metal barrels, that's how big, but it was plastic. So he had this mark on his neck, so he's being taken care of. And boy, is he ever eating. But he managed, he lived. But I could see that, when you put your hand in there, you can't get it out, but he's now free. But why I'm talking about this bear is because how many things are we carrying around us, just like that poor old bear, that is hatred, fear, doubt. Well, June is a month to challenge yourself, to go forward, allow yourself to be. Time to believe in yourself. There is a power that's universal power. It's the power of I am. Fill in the blank. I am a conscious expression of heaven on earth. I bring healing awareness into every room, with every conversation I speak. Think about the I am. Think about who you are. Think about who you know you are, but you haven't been yet. And feel that divine energy. Look into that guitar and see the word Nazareth. Realize that the divine mind is ever present, all-knowing, within, without. And nobody can stop the divine mind from being in you, because it already is. No one can take your knowledge away because it's already in there. And no one can stop you from learning, because as you think beyond your little self-enclosed self and feel the earth, the body, the soul, the mind, allow yourself to feel the whole world. And you can do that In meditation, you let go, you relax, and you just become as big as everything that is, and you learn. God is ever present, divine mind ever available. The power of your word is the power of your life. So what in heck are you saying? What in heck are you thinking? When we deny our power, are we thinking of guilt, shame? What is plugging the hole of us being who we are meant to be? We are. But never dim your light. What if in this big sea of life, and there's someone out there, and they're struggling, and they are struggling. And imagine it as a boat or a person struggling. And there you are, here, safe on the rock of life. But you do not open yourself up or talk or anything. You don't let your light shine. You're like a tower. And the light that they can see, the hope that you can give them by talking to them, by expressing, by your God essence, may be the hope that pulls them to shore to help them discover how they can change the world, how they can be better. You have the power through being you, through singing, through creating, through hugging, or by just being a friend. We don't all have to run around, create miracles. Just allow yourself to be the God essence that you are meant to be. Sometimes in life we feel a fear. I know I had this fear, and if I'm the only one that had this fear, well, so be it. It is the fear of feeling stupid. Well, I can't do that. I'm going to feel stupid. They're going to think I'm stupid. I remember, I don't think I've ever shared this before. I've shared I was dyslexic. But I don't think I shared the frustration of my mother trying to teach me how to read, because I had a very, very smart mother. But she did not know that I was dyslexic, but she did know that I could read forward, backwards, or upside down, or right side up. It just works that way. But she would say to her friends, you know, I try and teach Teresa. I keep trying to, and I would envision a hammer. I seriously would in my head. I keep trying to pound it into her to learn how to read. But she just can't learn. And she would say over and over and over. And then she would, bless her heart, she would say to me sometimes, how could you be so stupid? How come you're so stupid? And it's just life. It's just the way it was. It didn't mean she didn't love me. It just meant I'm trying to help my daughter that I love, and I don't understand why she doesn't understand. And then there was, of course, back then it's the I'm embarrassed in front of my friends. You know. So whatever other people think about you, it's none of your business. Who cares? You get out there, you use the power of I am, and you do it. Because I did it. I taught myself. So that is just a little story of the believing in yourself, the not stopping. So be the beacon for others. Don't dim your light. And don't think yourself stupid. And if someone needs or feels they need to tell you they're stupid, well, thank you for sharing. However, I'm here to live my life, to let my light shine, because within me is the power of the universal mind to be, to grow, to share, and by saying something, helping someone, who knows what they are going to do. It says, I used to read a lot of the Bible, and I still do. I did it as a child. On my own, I was never encouraged to be religious, but it was, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, nothing will be impossible to you. And that's Matthew 17, 20, 21. Say to yourself, I have everything I need to succeed. I am fully supported by that which breathes my breath. I have confidence in myself. I believe in me. Okay, I want everybody, if you so wish, to say, I believe in me. I want you to stand up, if you so wish. You don't have to. I'm not going to. Stand up, and I mean, there's a roof. You can blow the top off of it if you want. I believe.
I believe.
Okay, now you're with Edith, and you're singing, and she's saying, just let her rip. Okay, I believe. One more. I believe. Okay, you may sit down now. Okay, between you and me, did not feel good. Yeah. And when someone tells you something or other about something or other, you can think, well, I believe, and you just watch. Well, how about we all do that? Because nothing can stop us. Matthew 9:29 says, just as you have believed, it will be done unto you. Well, we just did a declaration. But you see, there's two sides to everything. Because pay attention to what you're putting your power into, your word into. Because what is it you're believing in? For the divine is ever present, our word is ever present, but our words can be hurtful, our thoughts can be hurtful. There was a lady I really wanted to bless, I'll tell you. And I'm afraid I had just a smidge of problem. And she was so kind because I went to a group of ladies I go to, we play a shuffleboard, and she came, it was Christmas, I came back after Christmas, and she said, bless her, bless her, bless her. She said, oh, you still have that long hair? I said, yeah. Well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be young? I thought you would have cut it over. I said, no. I said, I like my hair long. I'm not done yet. She's still talking. Well, bless her heart, bless her. She said, well, have you looked at your face in the mirror lately? Oh, and then I'm ready to say something nice, but I wasn't going to say anything. I'm thinking, oh, okay. And then they say, oh, time for shuffleboard. So up we went, and we played shuffleboard. And it's one of the joys of life that you can laugh about. And so that's one of the reasons that I'm darn sure I'm not going to be cutting my hair soon. Don't be afraid to stand out, be who you are. And you are creative. And don't be held a prisoner by any conditions. Because the only power of anything around you is the power within you, the power you believe, but fear, doubt. That's the thing that's going to stop you dead, right there. And I don't mean it literally, but you know what I mean. So what about seeing your life through new eyes? Seeing that you can go forward. You can go on. How about having a resolution? Sometimes things seem so in the way, and there's times that the brain will talk you into, well, I shouldn't say you, I know it can do me, talk me into all these, you can't, no, but, yeah, oh. Well, clean it off. Clean your mind off. Every day we have a daily reminder, and we keep getting these daily reminders, and I don't know why. But we're in our car, and there was a big bang, and it was a rock. And we thought, oh, well, okay, there's a rock. Well, it started to crack. Well, now it's cracked, and it's gone all the way over here. So it's getting hard to see. And then another crack came up. Well, was that good enough? No. They're all coming from that same thing. Another one came and hit it. So the thing is, buy a new window. Invest in yourself. Like we're thinking, well, it's going to be a lot of money. Well, invest. Can't see to drive. Well, how are we driving in our life? Are we, well, I can't invest in myself. Invest in yourself. Spend the time with yourself. The power of I am. Those of us who are parents taught our children, stop, look, listen. Like we don't want them run over or anything happening to them. And even now unless we're in a big hurry, or a lot of people reading their phones and they're not doing it, but you stop, you look, and you listen before you turn, do whatever. Well, how about take a little time to yourself? Stop. Be at peace. Relax. Look at where your life's going. Look at what you want to do. Look at what needs changed, and then listen. Listen to what your heart's desire is. Listen and look to see, is there any guidance or classes around me that can teach me what I want to know? Oh, what is it I know that I can maybe share with others and teach them? We are the one mind. We are the divine energy in, as, and through all. Well, we are all one, but we all help one another. Stop, look, listen, and claim the power of I am. Beautiful, whole, complete. I am smart. I am worthy. Feel your greatness. Allow your greatness to show. And know that there is absolutely no limit on anything. I mean, if some guy who was a 15-year-old dropout can sit there with a 1940s guitar that a lot of people would think is old junk and look inside it and get a song that thousands and thousands of people will enjoy just by reading the little words. Think of the millions of dollars that he's made from that song. One word, one question, one mind. And his mind's no different than yours. He's no special person. Each of you have within you exactly what he has and more. The mind of man is some part of the mind of God or divine mind. Therefore, it contains within itself unlimited possibility of expansion and self-expression. And that's our Dr. Ernest Holmes saying that. That's from our Science of Mind book. And this is what we were taught as ministerial students. All of this about the great gift, the great oneness, the great opportunity that never ceases, and the importance to live your life at your best, but live your life to help others. So what is standing in the way of your dream? Do you need to be more physically active? You and you alone know. You know, it's never too late to be your authentic self. Be it some old lady with long hair that's making another old lady upset. That was so much fun to do. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm loud and proud. You're not the boss of me, so. But there's only as much life you can embody, and that's the amount of life you're willing to experience. You're the one who calls the shots. And it's never too late to recognize that you and you alone have the power to live your life, to change your life, to share the beauty of who you are, the miracle of who you are. You are so wonderful, but it is the divine within you that is blooming forth as a beautiful flower that is creating who you are. So all these ideas, like I'm talking about, not being afraid. Well, if someone was afraid to write, that someone would think they were stupid, no books would be written. If someone thought that, no songs would be written. Remember, Edith wrote a song about 2 or 3 Sundays ago that she wrote herself and shared, and it was beautiful. And she was nervous. Well, no one says it's going to be easy along the way, but the only one stopping us is ourselves. I challenge you today to start living intentionally. As a spiritual practice, stop, look, and listen. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So I know for you and I know for me that as we move forward, it is both in freedom and in power in all that we do. And so it is.